Child. These are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And this is Weekend Reset number 16, part 2. When we left off in part 1, I was giving y'all the game. Now, where was I? Oh, that's right. I learned to be the kind of woman who makes commitments and then holds herself to them, even when the mood that she was in when she made the commitment is no longer anywhere in sight. Have you ever said you were going to do something when you were feeling good, when you were happy, when things were going well, and then the atmosphere shifted and you ain't want to do it no more? Hell yeah, you have, because we all have. It's not about what you promise when things are going well or when things are going the way you want them to. It's about what you do when things stop going well or the way you want them to. Do you keep your word? Do you remain true to your commitment? And absolutely, you have the right to change your mind. But the minute changing your mind becomes about someone else, their choices, what they've done, what they don't do, you are out of order because you are obligated to what you've obligated yourself to, even when other people fail to hold up their ends of the bargain. And that's difficult. That's a test. That requires a level of personal fortitude that everybody does not have. And that, folks, is where I am exceptional. Call it bragging. Call it whatever you want. I told you, I gave up caring about what people think about me for Lent. I'm exceptional because I'm not easily moved. And I am saying this because I am imploring you to examine your own stamina, your own fortitude, your own get up and go. Stop letting the enemy trick you out of your blessings. And I'm not just talking about the enemy without. I'm also talking about the enemy within, the inner me. When the enemy is so weak, so frail, so codependent that he or she is unable to meet his or her own obligations because other people don't meet theirs, the inner me becomes an enemy. And please believe me when I tell you, the harder you work on being the best version of yourself, the more committed you are to exceptionalism, the more willing you are to do the work, the more you're going to piss other people off. People who don't have the mental fortitude, the emotional intelligence, the spiritual balance, the strength of character are going to call you uppity, accuse you of thinking you're better than others, of thinking you're perfect, and they will go out of their way to judge you, your life, your family, your accomplishments, your appearance. They'll talk about any and everything that they can in order to deflect from the parts of their lives that they're discontented with. They're not trying to help you grow. It's a trap, sis. Don't run from it, though. Don't fight against it. Don't try to disprove it. Don't try to change their minds. The truth is the truth, whether you say it or not. Baby, the way people will paint themselves a picture of your life without ever actually examining the landscape is wild. They'll take bits and pieces, snippets and tidbits that somebody else has told them, that they've eavesdropped on, that they've observed completely out of context, and write the best fiction novel ever. That's life, though, because that's people. And they're going to wait until the day when your brightness shines a light on their insecurities, their failures, their fears, their ineptitudes. And that's when they're going to tell you all about you in an effort to make themselves feel better. And with the hopes that you'll be shallow enough, insecure enough, unhealed enough, and weak enough to actually attempt to help them rewrite the story. A story you never told them to write in the first place. Don't do that, bro. The stories that other people tell themselves about you are none of your business, even if they're brave enough, stupid enough, or audacious enough to share it with you. Let them have it. Don't you never argue with a fool, because from a distance, nobody can tell who is who. And if you just be quiet and listen, you'll probably find out that the things about you and your life that they've decided to attack actually tell you more about who they are than it'll ever tell you about you. Now, you might learn how they really feel about you, though, because often an angry tongue tells the truth. But it is not your job to try to change their minds. It's your job to put them and what they've said in perspective, to set very clear boundaries around the level of access that they should have to you going forward, to evaluate what you share and who you share it with, to count the cost and weigh the benefits and risks associated with sharing your truth, your life, your experiences, and being clear about your purpose. I've had this experience more times than I can count, which is why I can't even give you a story time about it, because this most recent incident isn't the worst incident I've had where someone has needed a villain and they decided to make me it. Not to mention, what's most powerful about that experience isn't what they said or what they did, it's how I responded. See, I love a good laugh, so that's what I did. And you know, when somebody's attempting to make you mad and it doesn't, Or worse, it makes you laugh, it makes them even more upset. And they'll even blame you for that, as if it's your fault that they hilarious. And then when they jump out of their tree and do something that they can't take back, they'll blame you for the consequences too. Because unlike you, they've yet to learn to take responsibility for their own actions. What's important though, is that if this is someone you love, you don't stop loving them and you don't try to shield them from the consequences of their actions either. Because love loves justice. It respects accountability. It needs to see the objects of it doing well, healing, growing, learning, living. Love demands that we work to maintain access to it. Pray for them, wish them well, and then pivot. Because you can't stay there, and neither can they. But the only person's choices you are absolutely responsible for are your own. Do the best you can with what you have. And when what you have is not enough, go and get more. Choose peace over performance, companionship over company. And anybody more focused on hurting you with their words than they are on their own growth shouldn't have a seat at your table.